Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Hello, my beautiful friends and loyal listeners. It's always such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you so much for listening and interacting with me on social media. That truly does make it all worthwhile. Please make sure to follow me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. And remember that we're now live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern and on YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. All episodes of A Moment of Zen are now streaming 24/7 on Kathy Ireland's Your Home TV. We have such a great show lined up for you today in this second weekend of 2023. In our influencer segment brought to you by ogpay.com, we're featuring the amazing Lexi Pantera. She goes by Virgin Lex. She's a larger-than-life online personality with a very loyal fan base of over 9 million followers. She is a pop culture phenomenon with her singles Where Do You Go and More Than You landing on Billboard charts. Her newest single, The Simple Life, has already hit impressive record downloads. Today, we're joined by her good friend, Justin Love, singer-songwriter, Grammy winner, recording artist, and influencer. We're chatting about how social media propels the music industry, the need for more women artists, and her new single, The Simple Life. In our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to you by Animoca Brands, we're featuring Alan Lau, Chief Business Officer at Animoca Brands and returning contributor right here on A Moment of Zen. Today, we're chatting all about how effectively incentivizing and onboarding Web3 builders and users via Mocaverse is Animoca Brands' latest project and how you can get involved. In our newest segment called Travel Treasures, brought to you by Navé, we are featuring Gretchen Philyaw, executive producer of the show Fabric of America and CEO of Magenta Technologies, which is a robotics and automation company. You can join Gretchen on the ultimate road trip where she travels the USA to celebrate the people, places, and experience that show that the American dream is very much still alive. Fabric of America streams on Kathy Ireland's Your Home TV. Today, Gretchen and I are chatting all about traveling America and the importance of buying American-made products. In our Innovation and Tech segment, brought to you by Caldwell Soames, we're joined by our regular contributor, Paul Caldwell, chairman and CEO of Caldwell Soames, and he's joined by Jonathan Schroyer of Arise.com. CIO Journal, which is a publication of the Wall Street Journal, named Jonathan among its top CX professionals of 2022. Today, we're chatting about the importance of customer service in Web 3.0 and how fintech super apps are building trust simply by providing a frictionless and user-friendly experience. Stay tuned for our influencer segment brought to you by ogpay.com featuring the amazing Lexi Pantera and Justin Love. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OGPay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OGPay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out ogpay.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our influencer segment brought to you by ogpay.com, we're featuring the amazing Lexi Pantera, aka Virgin Lex. She is a larger-than-life online personality with a loyal fan base of over 9 million followers, a pop culture phenomenon of sorts, with her singles Where Do You Go and More Than You landing on the Billboard charts. Her newest single, The Simple Life, has already hit impressive record downloads. As an international artist, she has collaborated with powerhouse likes such as DJ Snake, Major Lazer, Marshmello, and Lil Yachty. Today, we are joined by her good friend Justin Love, singer-songwriter, recording artist, and influencer, and Grammy winner. We're chatting about how social media propels the music industry, her new single, Simple Life, where females stand in the music industry, and both of their unique plans for 2023. Now, the music marketing scene is rapidly evolving, with streaming services rising to become the number one income source for most artists. There is a declining interest in record deals for the independents. The evolution of streaming services has provided new and more exciting ways for artists to market their work, from playlist marketing to social media reels and trends. In many ways, social media and music streaming have leveled the playing field in the music industry, and everyone is grappling for their place. Over the last decade, it has become normal to see independent artists at the top of Billboard's charts. Here to chat about music in 2023 are my superstars, Lexi and Justin. Welcome back, Lexi Pantera and Justin Love. Thank you for joining the Winner's Circle.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
Welcome back, Lex. And Justin,
Thank
thanks for joining the Winner's Circle today.
Yeah, he lives close, so it was easy. I dragged him in.
Happy New Year's, friends. Okay, all the best for 23. Let's dive into some real talk. Justin, you have worked with many celebrities. You write for many musicians and artists, and you're a recording artist yourself. Who is the biggest talent that you've collaborated with to date, and how did being an independent artist affect your career?
Besides me.
Besides Lexi, her, the artist, is probably the biggest artist I've worked with. And as far as, challenges in the music industry, I think the most challenging part is really finding a team, and
My team changes. It's really hard.
and, Lexi and I are both Gemini, so we're very hard on our creativity and what we want and our comfortability and our freedom, especially. You know what I'm saying? So,
But having a team that has the same vision is not easy. That really believes in you, because you're gonna have to find people that believe in your stuff.
I agree with-
So
but yeah,
and do the work.
that's pretty much for me. That's pretty much it. It's really the team because
The team. Yeah.
Without a team, you can't really do or
Yeah, it takes a lot. We can't
Yeah.
do it all by ourselves, basically.
Yeah, the right team makes the right dream. Now, with streaming services rising to become the number one income source for more artists, like I just mentioned earlier, there's this declining interest in record deals for a lot of you independents. And I said it in the beginning, the evolution of streaming services has truly provided new and more exciting ways for artists to market their work. Lex, you are on a great run. Simple Life is trending very well, and the song is exploding all over clubs.
Thank you. Yeah.
How do you get a song to go viral, and how does social media change the game?
Well, a song going viral is the hardest thing to do. That's every artist's dream for sure, especially right now. So it's not easy. It takes a lot of creativity, and doing a lot of TikToks every day. There's really no secret. It's just your passion is driving the content, and you're just hoping that it'll pick up, and if you have a good smash song, like, it's undeniable, people are going to listen to it. So people are really drawn right now to Simple Life. They love this record. I'm excited.
you do a lot of different pieces of content to Simple Life as well. Like when we say content, it's not just the music video and clips of the music video and just kind of like recycling clips.
No,
It's like
new
really,
content.
when she says make TikToks and reels and whatnot, I mean, you got to make that new content
From out of scratch. I mean, it just comes from nowhere. It's like, okay, what are we going to do today with the record so people hear it?
Yeah,
It's just
so
a
you're a
constant
digital
thing.
you are a digital creator that's constantly working separate of being a recording artist and musician and singer.
Absolutely. I mean,
Well,
yeah, because in major labels also, like, they're getting people like Halsey, like, hey, you guys need to be on TikTok. And they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, what do we even do on TikTok? So me and him, yeah, we're kind of in it already. We already know what it is, what we do, what we have to do, especially as independent artists. So we're
Yeah.
just in that space.
For sure. And we live in a streaming era as all other forms of music consumption continue to decline, and global subscribers to music streaming platforms, Justin and Lexi, listen to this, it grew by 26.4% in 2022 and now average about 524 million subscribers. So the music streaming revenue in America now makes up 84% of the US music industry revenue, and it's projected to grow to 90% in the next few years. So these are staggering
Wow.
numbers. Justin, what is the hardest part of the music industry, and what is most important to you as an artist? What is the most important thing?
Um,
I'm like, there's a lot
it's
of
the
hard
same
parts
thing.
in the
I
business.
mean, for me, it's everything.
Well, money as well, being an independent artist.
Money definitely, but I mean, with building that cult following, like building the cult following of people that listen to you when you say anything. Hey, I have a show. Hey, I'm dropping merch. Hey, I'm dropping a song. Hey, drop a comment. Hey, like this last post. You know what I'm saying?
Engagement online is not easy.
Like that's
It's
definitely
getting new
not.
followers that we're trying to do, and yeah, that's the content again. It's like, how much content can we put out to reach new people,
So it goes
to
back to
get
social
that
media.
fan base. Yeah, I feel like a lot
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, I feel
engaging
Right
the
like
now,
community.
right? Like,
Lexi and I feel like have been doing music since before social media, right? So I feel like being able to
transition and stay
transition,
with the times is important as an artist,
yeah.
because then you're lost and you're like, again, like, what do we do on TikTok? But like, if you're just constantly knowing what's going on in the business and you're catching up with that, it's a little bit easier at
At
least.
least trying. You know, you gotta be open to all these new sources of income.
That too.
Yeah.
That
Well, social media definitely opens up all these new sources and avenues, and it's up to you guys to become the digital creators that you are, and become really
and to stand
creative
out
and to stand out. Yeah.
is the
L-
most important thing.
So talk to me, Lex. What stigma do you aim to demystify the most? And do you use your music to convey messages to youth?
You know, I convey messages of a lot of heartbreak, just a lot of relatable things that people go through, young or old, any age, honestly. Stigma, you said in general. I mean, people think a lot of things about me. Is that what you're saying?
No, no.
What?
Well, I mean, it could be that if you're aiming to demystify the stigma of perhaps you being perceived a certain way, then that's one thing. But like, for
Mm,
instance, there's a lot of stigmas in the music
I got
industry.
one. Everybody think that Lexi is just a twerker, and she's way more than that. She's a mother artist. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
She
I don't
is
know.
an artist
I've
to the
been I've
same.
been dealing with this is the fact that when people have one talent, it's hard for them to see that they have multiple
Hmm.
talents. And it's like, oh, you can dance really well. Okay, well then you must not be able to sing. And I'm like,
Right.
but I can sing really, probably even better.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can act and I rap. So like we're the whole package here, but that's hard is staying in the box that people really put you in. And that's been my hardest thing to accomplish is like,
Well,
yo, like
Justin,
you can,
I love that Justin brought this up because he actually addressed the elephant in the room, right? Like, I've known you for quite some time now, and I've known you to actually be very responsible, very responsive, very consistent, very committed, and very career oriented. Now, when you look at your videos and what you put online, of course, you're appealing to the younger generation, Gen Alpha, Gen Z. But when I speak to you as a business person, it's a very different Lexi Pantera. So Justin, thank you for bringing it out. That's a great stigma to demystify. The Lexi stigma. All right, we have about 3 minutes left. Okay, so both of you. I guess Justin could go first. So the music industry continues to be a very male dominated industry. And to the average listener, this may not seem to be the case as they may see lots of female artists at the top of the charts. However, when you look at the data, you'll see that women are seriously being left out of the equation across the industry. Not only is the music industry dominated by male performers, the number ratio of female artists has been known to drop over the years. Women currently right now represent less than 1/3 of artists in the music world, with 12.6% of songwriters and fewer than 3% of producers that have been on the charts between the years 2012 and 2021. Justin, what do you say to this discrepancy?
mm,
I say, Lexi, motivate the women to be a part of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm
nah,
trying
it's
to.
not it's not easy. It's not.
I know. I
It's
look
not
at
easy
the
for a man. It's not easy for a woman. You know, and I feel like, I mean, low key, it's a little bit more dangerous for a woman than it is a man. You know, because you know,
in a lot of different ways.
in a lot of different ways. Because what is it? I feel like this industry is run by men. You know, so it's like I feel like that's the only really issue there. I mean,
We need more women performing.
we need more
I
women
look at
bosses.
I
We
look at
need
the
more
Rolling
women
Loud lineup,
executives.
and there's probably 3 women on the lineup,
Really?
and there's like 100 men. And I'm like, where are the women at? Where's my name at? Is what I was really looking for. But yeah, we need more women performers, and there are producers. There are. I just feel like they're just not in the rooms.
So, Justin, it takes the men in the industry like yourself to uplift the women and to make a
Yeah,
stance
Justin,
and really push hard out there.
because
But
we're
thank you for even
trying.
coming out and supporting Lex
This
today.
is what I think, right? This is what I do think. I think if there were more female executives, there would be more female artists.
Amen to that. Well, you heard it here first.
Starts from the top of the food chain. He's right. So we got to get more women in those positions of power. All
Yeah.
right. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, look, these are really discouraging numbers for any female artists out there, but it's hard for both men and women. And even those who are starting out, knowing the statistics of male versus female artists is really, it's really a letdown. But the good thing is that there are a lot of powerful female artists right now that are slowly paving the way for lots of newcomers and show a lot of potential to change these numbers in the future. And according to a study exploring the share of female artists in popular music in the United States between the years of 2012 and 2021, 24% of the artists featuring on songs in the top 100 charts in 2021 were women. So that's up from 20.2% in the previous year. So the numbers are changing towards our favor, but still lots of work needs to be done. All right, Justin, many can say that you are a role model to youth in the Gen Alpha and Gen Z demos. What message would you like to give to your younger self?
Oh, your younger
Man,
self.
my younger self, just to keep going. You got this, and plan for the best, prepare for the worst, and keep going. That's it. Like,
And wear sunscreen.
and and and
That's
all
what I tell my younger self.
and all your creativity is okay. Like me,
Don't give a hell about what other people think. How about that one?
I mean, that's pretty much it, really. I used to paint my nails and dye my hair a whole bunch of different colors, and I was never really accepted for how creative I was, until I went somewhere else where everybody else was doing the same thing, and then I was just regular. I wasn't even special.
Then you're like, oh, okay, I should just be me wherever.
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly. Just be you.
Be you,
Wherever.
baby.
There you go.
It's
Be
funny
you
how when
wherever.
it's funny when how you finally fit in, you end up disappearing and fading into the background,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, guys, we are out of time. Thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Lex, thank you for bringing on Justin. Justin, thank you for supporting our girl over here, and I'll welcome you back very soon.
Thank you. Go stream Simple Live. The music video's out, y'all.
That was our influencer segment brought to you by OGPay.com. That was the amazing Lexi Pantera. She goes by Virgin Lex. And that was her good friend, Justin Love, singer, songwriter, Grammy winner, recording artist, influencer, all of the above. Check them out on the gram at Justin Love and at Lexi Pantera. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands. As a worldwide industry leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, and digital property rights, Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the open metaverse. During unstable times like these in burgeoning industries similar to blockchain, it's important to realize that blockchain can and will survive and eventually flourish, and industry-leading companies like Animoca Brands will guide the transformation into the future. Animoca Brands will keep building a better and fairer Web3 ecosystem, create impact for better, and bring true digital property rights to all internet users through NFTs and the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to Hello Open Metaverse, brought to you by Animoca Brands. Today we're featuring Alan Lau, Chief Business Officer at Animoca Brands and returning contributor right here on our platform. Today we're chatting all about Animoca's incentives to effectively onboard Web3 builders and users. Alan will be talking about the Animoca Brands ecosystem and the utilities of Mocaverse. Are you wondering what Mocaverse is? Well, Mocaverse is an ambitious project by Animoca Brands that aims to bring together the company's portfolio projects, subsidiaries, joint ventures, and partners through a unique NFT collection. Mocaverse features 8,888 Mocas, which are NFT profile pictures, what we call PFPs, that serve as a membership pass for Animoca Brands team members, investors, partners, and certain token holders. The goal of Mocaverse is to unite the Web3 community through shared purpose and values by allowing holders to exchange ideas, learn, connect, play, and build the future of Web3. Now, in their first official announcement for Mocaverse, Animoca declared the four main eligible categories and stated that additional special eligibility criteria would be communicated. Well, since then, the special eligibility criteria is one of the most asked about aspects of Mocaverse. In light of Mocaverse's mission to onboard Web3 builders and users, Alan is here to announce the complete eligibility criteria. In addition to the previously revealed eligible categories, Animoca has expanded their list with a new fifth category, bringing you the Mocha list. Here to chat Mocaverse, NFTs, and effectively onboarding Web3 builders and users is the amazing Alan Lau, Chief Business Officer at Animoca Brands. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for coming on again.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's get to it. Very exciting stuff here at Animoca, as always. But why did Animoca decide to launch Mocaverse, Alan?
It started life as a membership NFT collection that we want to launch, but very quickly, once we started engaging with the community, we think that it's going to become a lot more than that. So let me explain. We really launched this as a way for us to say thank you to all the OG supporters to Animoca in our journey. Because as we grow, a lot of people from our employees, investors, our partners have helped us a lot along the way. So we want to create a PFP collection as a gift to them, as a recognition for being with us in this journey. So, that's why I said it started life as a membership NFT. But very quickly, as we started to engage with the community, we realized that we really have an opportunity to expand it to people that also have invested in Animoca's project with our token and NFT. And that's the fifth category that you mentioned. So we, in addition to invested partners and employees of Animoca, we had a new category, which are all the Animoca-owned token and NFT holders, and they can be whitelisted to have a raffle ticket, which would allow them to have a chance to win a Mocaverse NFT. And we thought that really is a beautiful way for us to say thank you to the community and to expand who we want to bring in on day one.
I love it. So, okay, so I'm going to recap. So Mocaverse NFTs are reserved exclusively for friends and family of Animoca Brands, including the following eligible parties. So you have Animoca Brands institutional and retail investors, employees of Animoca Brands and its subsidiaries, management teams of companies in Animoca Brands, Web3 investment portfolio partners of Animoca Brands, and now Mocha List members. Okay, so Mocha List members, this is extremely interesting. Talk to me about how one can get on the Mocha List, and please cover the mechanics of the raffle system for a chance for fans out there to get a Lau listed.
Sure. So there's really two categories. So for those of you that have followed what Animoca has done, we've launched many NFT projects, and we also have 10 plus tokens. So if you hold any one of the token and NFT project that we've listed on our site, then you become eligible. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing a snapshot in the middle of January. So, if you hold NFT or tokens of any of those projects, hold on to it, because we'll be doing snapshot in the middle of January, after which we'll be airdropping a raffle tickets to you, right? I mean, the idea is you will get a chance to win a Mocaverse NFT. So just to give you an example, we have Gamey, which is one of our subsidiary doing casual games. If you hold one of the Gbot NFT, then you're eligible. Of course, Sandbox is very famous. It's the Metaverse platform. If you hold LAN NFT, then you're also eligible, right? So just to give you an example of the types of fungible and non-fungible token that you hold that allows you to get a raffles ticket.
I love it. So talk to me about these the Realm ticket NFTs. These are tradable ERC 1155 tokens that are going to be
Yeah.
minted and airdropped to community members meeting either of the two sub-criteria specifics to what we just talked about, category 5. But it's interesting because each Realm ticket NFT is going to be counted as one individual entry to the Mocha list registration, to my understanding, and then winners will be added to the Mocha list and entitled to one free mint and one optional paid mint. So one wallet can hold multiple Realm tickets, in fact, but there will only be one winning Realm ticket per wallet. I just want to make that clear. So in other words, the more tickets you hold, the greater your chances of winning.
Exactly, right. And we actually had a scheme where, if you hold multiple tokens from Animoca, that increases your chance, right? So, I think this, again, going back to how this got started, it really is a way for us to say thank you to our community. And of course, there are people that were involved in multiple projects, and we want to say, we want to give them a higher chance of or getting more RAM tickets, right? And the reason why we've created a RAM ticket and want to make it into an NFT as well is this, right? Because a bit of alpha here. I don't think we've shared it anywhere else. There are literally there are hundreds of thousands user that will be eligible, right? So it's a collection. This collection size is only 8,000 some, right? So we won't be able to satisfy everyone, right? And it's also not, and I think it's also odd to create a collection that is 100,000 or 300,000, right? But what we want to do is we want to airdrop anyone who's eligible a RAM ticket, and some of them will get selected and they will own a Mocaverse NFT. But for all the other people that hold a RAM tickets, they will get something from us as well, right? So please make sure, hold on to the token, the fungible and non-fungible token that you have. You will get a RAM ticket. Some of you will be selected to get a Mocaverse, but if you don't, you'll get something from us later on as well.
For sure. There's always something in the pot of gold, because you also have the eligible Animoca Brands ecosystem tokens, and then you have eligible Animoca Brands ecosystem NFTs, and then active Mocaverse community members and contributors. So let's talk about that. Animoca also wants to involve the creators of the amazing fan artworks and contents from the Mocha fam community. So there's going to be a portion of Realm ticket NFTs that are allocated to individuals who actively provide creative content, moderation, or other forms of contribution in the Mocaverse Twitter and Discord communities. So talk to me about that.
Yeah. So, that is also, something that we've discovered and we've learned as we, go on this journey of launching the collection, which is, while primarily we want to make this as a way to say thank you to our OG supporters, we realized that a lot of people, once they heard about the project, they're really excited to get involved as well, right? And we've seen a lot of very fascinating fan art. If you go to our Mocaverse Twitter handle, then you can check out some of them, and we really love them, and we feel they should be part of the family. So we've actually been giving out both RAM tickets and Mocaverse NFT minting allowed lists to these folks. So if you're interested in project, if you believe in the ethos that we believe in, please engage with us, and we continue to give out a small number of allowed lists to people that are contributing to help us build a community.
It's fantastic. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I love how you're giving back. All right. Talk to me about the utilities of Mocaverse, Alan.
Yeah. So we really build this as a collection that has a lot of utility on day one, right? Partly because we feel that there's so much that we can offer, and this could be a really interesting platform for experimentation and innovation. So we want to do 4 things together with our community. We want to learn together with them, to play together, to build together, and do good together. Let me just explain one by one, right? I think learning is, we've got a lot of, research, and, within our ecosystem, we have, close to 400 founders. They're leaders in their field, right? And they've got a lot to share. So think of masterclasses with them, right? And we're going to open it up for the community. And I think that could be really interesting for us to learn together. Animoca Research also publish a lot of research, and you'll be getting some alpha from us. You'll be first to hear about what we're researching into as a holder. So that's the learning realm. We also have the play realm. As many of you would know, that Animoca has a lot of Web3 games, and you'll be given seasonal pass, alpha passes to access our games, you get in-game asset airdrop from us as well, right? So it's all about having fun together as well. The third one is about building, and I think this is really interesting because we're going to have a little treasury from the collection, and what we want to do is to figure out together with you what are the kind of projects that we want to back, like what are the next innovation, the next founder that we want to back together, right? We're also going to offer up some of the governance right of the tokens that Animoca holds. So it really is an interesting experimentation, but I don't think any NFT collection have ever done this, which is taking the voting rights of some of the tokens that we hold, and we're going to decentralize it and going to put it in the hands of the Mocaverse NFT holders, right? So that really, and with that, you have a chance to build many of these projects together with us, right? And the last one is doing good. I mean, I think it is about giving back to society as well. And we're going to be choosing charity projects to back together with the community, and you're going to be voting on it, right? So, right on day one, you're going to have a rich set of utilities. As you can hear, some of those would come from us, come from the close to 400 companies in our portfolio, but then we'll also be working with anyone who's interested in this project. And actually, once we've launched and once our Twitter handle was live, there was a lot of incoming inquiry and proposal on how we can work together. So at this point, we have not quite 100, but close to 100 discussion going on already on things that we can do together with different projects. So I'm super excited about this as a platform for innovation.
Yeah, this is brilliant. So I love it that holders are going to be able to learn, play, do good, and build together. And utilities will be created by, our communities, enjoyed by our communities, and powered by Animoca Brands. So I love the whole tagline and I love the whole theme. We have about a minute and a half left, but let's chat very quickly. So the story of the Mocas, 8,888 Mocas, which are these PFPs that we've been talking about. But the Mocas belong to 5 incredible tribes that are stronger in unity. Their goal is to build a world that champions the open metaverse, digital asset ownership, and creator support. There's 5 tribes right now. I know there's the dreamers, the builders, the angels, the connectors, and the neo-capitalists. And the different realms, I want to put it out there very quickly, are the realms of learning, doing good, playing, and building that you just covered. So it all kind of fits together in a nice ecosystem. I hovered over this very quickly, but I wanted people to have a bright idea of what this Moca verse felt like with its realms and its different categories and tribes. Let's move on to gamification. This is extremely important at Animoca Brands. So, Alan, the application of gaming techniques in a non-gaming setting is called gamification. In the community context, it involves understanding what drives your community members. And oftentimes, gamification efforts appear in the form of points and badges. They generally encourage gentle competition around engagement. You hear badges, achievements, unlock this, up-level that. These are all terms that have risen, so to speak, from gamification techniques. So let's get into it and explore how rewarding a community rewards the entire company. So talk to me about why growing your community at Animoca Brands via gamification is a top priority.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole collection is a gamified way for us to say thank you, right? By getting people and then allow this and airdropping them an NFT that that are built around tribes that follow sort of the Web3 tribes and personality. I mean, that really is a way for us to say, hey, you can belong in different tribes, and we'll all build this together, right? So I think, and I certainly hope, talking about identity, as you mentioned, we certainly hope that on day one, when people receive the Mocaverse NFT, they will change their PFP, right? They'll actually change their profile pic to show solidarity that we belong in this community together, right? And another aspect of gamification that we already built, in addition to the broader setting, is even at the point of minting, at the very first interaction you have with Mocaverse, we gamified it already. So again, a little bit of alpha, we haven't covered it anywhere else. You're going to go through a little bit of interesting questions, asking who you are, what do you like, what would you do in certain situation, and based on that, you will be assigned one of the 5 tribes that you mentioned, right? So I can't wait for people to go through that little game at the beginning of the minting, and they'll figure out who they are.
It's very exciting and people love that stuff. I mean, listen, ever wonder why playing games is so attractive? Well, games are well known to spike our dopamine levels, and this increase is in response to completion of
Mm,
challenges or achievements. Dopamine, Alan, is a neurotransmitter. It's our brain's
mm,
main pleasure center. It gets synthesized during happy moments and increases our blood pressure. So this makes us feel on top of the world and motivates our body to repeat the tasks that lead to the pleasant feeling, ultimately increasing our desire to grab the opportunity once again, which is why gaming is
mm.
absolutely so addictive because it
Yeah,
feeds into those dopamine levels.
cool. And we're gonna hopefully build in a lot of little gamified experience along the way, to get people excited and engaged.
I love it. Well, we are out of time, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on. It was such a pleasure chatting with you. I'm very excited for one.
Yeah, I hope the community will like it. Thank you for having us.
Oh, they absolutely will. Guys, definitely check out Alan Lau, Chief Business Officer at Animoca Brands. Again, Mocaverse is a membership NFT collection exclusively reserved for Animoca Brands friends and family. And Mocaverse celebrates the amazing support and contributions from the extraordinary family of Animoca Brands companies, projects, investments, shareholders, and partners. Make sure you follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/Mocaverse NFT, or you could head to mocaverse.xyz. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. That was our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to you by Animoca Brands. Head to animocabrands.com for all the action. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands. As a worldwide industry leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, and digital property rights, Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the open metaverse. During unstable times like these in burgeoning industries similar to blockchain, it's important to realize that blockchain can and will survive and eventually flourish, and industry-leading companies like Animoca Brands will guide the transformation into the future. Animoca Brands will keep building a better and fairer Web3 ecosystem, create impact for better, and bring true digital property rights to all internet users through NFTs and the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In one of our newest segments called Travel Treasures, brought to you by Navé, today we're featuring Gretchen Philyaw, executive producer of the show Fabric of America and CEO of Magenta Technologies, which is a robotics and automation company, a founder of USA Loves Manufacturing, which is an organization that promotes Made in the USA. Now, you can join Gretchen on the ultimate road trip where she travels the USA to celebrate the people, places, and experiences that show the American dream is still very much alive. Fabric of America streams on Your Home TV. That's Kathy Ireland's newest venture. Now, when you purchase products, do you search for a Made in the USA logo? Well, many American consumers feel a sense of pride and satisfaction when they purchase from American businesses. That good feeling isn't the only reward either. Buying American-made products is an essential part of boosting the national economy and supporting American jobs. Even better, buying from domestic companies guarantees that your products come from manufacturers that follow American labor laws and manufacturing requirements. Now, instead of navigating through foreign regulations, you can rest easy knowing your product adheres to the country's highest standards of quality. And that's especially important when you're buying baby products, for instance. Now, if these perks aren't enough, know that buying domestic products is an eco-conscious choice. Purchasing domestically helps lower emissions and reduce your carbon footprint. From sustainability to national pride, there's no understating the importance of Made in the USA. And here to chat Traveling America, the importance of buying American-made products, is the awesome Gretchen Philyaw. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, I'm so excited to have you on. Congratulations on your new show. Things are looking fantastic. You're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. So this is going to be a great 2023.
It is, and you look fantastic as well. I'm very excited for this new venture. I know we're going to have a great time with it, and we've got some fantastic content as well.
Yeah. So you say, let's dive right in here. So you
Mhm.
say that made in the USA means something to everyone, and I agree. It's about integrity, quality, pride, and very much loyalty. And you believe in the USA and you want to create a resurgence and bring these qualities back to the forefront of our great nation. Gretchen, talk to me more about the inspiration behind this and what motivates your patriotism.
Absolutely. The United States of America, it is such an amazing place to be. And, since I was a child, my family instilled in me, that dedication to the country. And sometimes it sounds like, something that would be panned that someone would just say, but it's really the truth. Every day I wake up, I am extremely grateful to be here. And when I got into manufacturing, into that arena about 5 years ago, I just didn't feel like we were promoting it and celebrating it like we should. So I, over a weekend, just organically thought, why not start an organization and just start celebrating the people, the manufacturing facilities, the technologies. And, it kind of grew again organically. And, now we're here. And, I couldn't be more grateful.
Well, mission accomplished, and you are only getting started, my dear. Now, it's not hard to figure out that purchasing American products boosts the American economy. So I love everything that you're standing for. But, when you talk to people, it's not always easy to understand the real life benefits of, made in the USA and buying American made products. But I always say, look, supporting the domestic economy means supporting local economies. And when you purchase from American companies that create their products domestically, you support a business providing jobs for American citizens. And if you look at it, Gretchen, more jobs means more people can put money into their local economies. And this boosts in, if you look at it for globally, this little boost in circulation is part of a chain reaction that leads to more investment in local economies, increased tax revenue, and growing job opportunities throughout the entire country. And that's essentially what you're promoting. So what you're promoting isn't just loyalty and pride and patriotism. It's actually being a really smart business person. It's a win-win for all.
It really is. And, I always say that, if you look at when a manufacturing facility comes into a different area, it creates almost a microcosm because you've got the manufacturing plant. And then if you take it almost like a concentric circle expansion out, think about how that really does help that local economy. Everything from, restaurants, dry cleaners, childcare, anything of that nature. And again, it just expands out and it really helps the smaller towns. And, that was how we built America. If you really think about it, the nascency of the manufacturing, the Industrial Revolution, they would go into a city town like Allentown. And, then it would develop from there. And, Michigan was built on manufacturing. I believe also small business is very important. It's not just about manufacturing or technology companies. Small business is, again, I believe the future of America. Same idea. We know when we buy from those small businesses, not big box chains, that it goes into, a family's, circle, not, who knows where.
Oh,
So I think
yeah.
it's very important.
Extremely important. And the industry you supported will also grow, leading to more job opportunities within that field. So, yeah, like you said, it's full circle. So, let's shift now to your show because I'm very interested in this and I want to be cognizant of the time. So, as a result of your show, Gretchen, you travel and are going to be traveling all over the US, highlighting the faces, the voices, and the businesses that are making America great. Talk to me about your travel schedule. What place are you looking forward to visit the most, or maybe what place have you already visited that inspired you, and what has traveling taught you, and why are you going on this road trip?
Well, I started out in Florida because I thought, why not start at the tip of America and work my way around? So I did actually the first couple of episodes in Florida, North Florida, the Everglades area. I've got some fantastic companies, but very interesting enough, with the very first episode, I decided to make it about community, small business, to show that first, and of course expanding out to highlight manufacturing companies, etc. So I had a fantastic time in Florida, as always. I think Florida is an amazing state. And we're going up, obviously, I live in Georgia, so I'm going to do a segment in Georgia, Texas. We're planning on Navasota, Texas, California, and just working my way around the states. I love everything about these areas, because it's not only about going into, for instance, Texas, the bigger cities, but the smaller towns where you really get a chance to see the community and how people rally around each other. It really is what America is about, and we need to show that more.
Such a feel-good show, and you're such a feel-good person. So, and if you really think about it, right, I think that just about every American, and probably plenty from abroad as well, have dreamt about driving across the country in an epic, great American road trip. There's just something so inherently cool about the idea of tearing down a highway in the middle of nowhere, windows down, and music blasting as the miles slip by, regardless of if you're working or if it's for pleasure. But it's one of those dreams, right? So if it was up to you, I mean, look, at the end of the day, the average road trip dream probably consists of just throwing a few things into a trunk of a car and hitting the road. But Gretchen, the reality is that a good deal of planning is necessary, even for you with this show, to have a stress-free, successful journey. What was the hardest part, and what is your biggest hurdle in taking the show on the road and taping, while traveling?
The show has really been a passion of mine for really when I first started USA Loves Manufacturing. This was really the big idea of what I was going to do with that organization. And it's taken some time. And I was actually going to do the show about a year ago and didn't feel comfortable aligning myself with that particular situation. I'm so thankful that I'm able to do this now. I think we've got a great group, but I guess really those hurdles along the way, that you think everything's perfect, and then you kind of get like hit in the face to start another way, and you have to be resilient. But again, I think that's what America is all about. So every time that happens and I'm on the road and I don't have a key piece of equipment, or something happens unexpectedly, I always just try to stay very positive. And, again, where else would I want to be? I can't think of anywhere else. So I just, I keep on going. And I think that's what America is all about.
Yeah, that's the passion in you. Well, my biggest fear is my GPS won't work in the middle of nowhere. So I'd say invest in an actual old school map. And I'm not just talking about, like the actual old fold out maps, because you need that if you're in the middle of the desert. Obviously, cell phone coverage is generally good within the US, but you could find yourself, in the middle of a desert with no signal at all. All right, we have about 2 minutes left. So in your opinion, Gretchen, what makes America great, and why should we stick to buying American made products?
Well, I think when you really look at an American-made product, a lot of people think that there's a big cost involved with it, and that it's always more than if you buy it elsewhere. But if you really look at the true cost, and you take that soft cost into account, you realize that there's not that much of a difference. And I always say, do we really need as many items as we have? We don't need as many pieces of clothing. Fast fashion really affects our environment. So buy less, buy quality, and we know that American made is quality. I've got items that I have had for 15 plus years that I can still wear because of the quality, and they were American made.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's talk about lower trade and budget deficits. I mean, listen, those who pay attention to global trade and economies, I know I do, know that the United States faces a looming trade deficit. Well, what does that mean? As a country, it means that we import more than we export. And this leads to unsustainable borrowing and debts to other countries. And also, simultaneously, the negative federal budget deficit continues to build steeper national debt and strain on the domestic economy. So, supporting domestic businesses helps tackle both these issues, and purchasing American made products increases the demand for domestic products. It's completely logical. In exchange, this creates and encourages more exports, which will reestablish balance in American trade. So, Gretchen, furthermore, if you think of it from a bird's eye view, this is actually boosting and supporting domestic businesses, and the jobs that they create puts more money into the national budget. So thriving domestic businesses means more jobs, and all of these things stimulate the economy and help reduce the national debt. So your show isn't just about a road trip highlighting and featuring the best manufacturing, and all American made companies. It's actually educating people, hence edutainment, about why we should be purchasing American made and why made in the USA is so important. So thank you so much for this service.
No, thank you. It really comes down to what is the future of our country, and is it important enough for us to make sure we turn our boat around? And it is. Our supply chain is an issue. I had a computer issue and I had to go quickly buy one, and I could not get what I really wanted because half of the items were off the shelf. So again, the future of America really depends on bringing it back. This resurgence is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, you said it, sister. Well, listen, with that, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining me today. You were an absolute pleasure to chat with.
Thank you so much. I really look forward to continuing to collaborate and convene.
You got it. And listen, don't travel with someone you can't stand to be with 24/7, because there's no escape when you're in a car together. That's all I could think about.
I know, that is so true. That's when you have to put the headphones on.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, guys, that was our Travel Treasures segment brought to you by Navé, featuring the amazing, awesome Gretchen Philyaw. Definitely check out Fabric of America. Head to the website fabricofamerica.co. You can also check usalovesmanufacturing.com. And if you're going to try to find her all over the gram and LinkedIn, it's Gretchen Philyaw. And then on Instagram, Gretchen M. Philyaw. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OG Pay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OG Pay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out ogpay.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a few minutes, in our Innovation and Tech segment by Caldwell Soames, we're joined by our regular contributor, Paul Caldwell, Chairman and CEO of Caldwell Soames. And today, he's joined by Jonathan Schroyer, who has over 2 decades of experience building companies and leaders. CIO Journal, which is a publication of the Wall Street Journal, named him among its top CX professionals of 2022. A CX professional, for those of you wondering, is a catalyst of sort, someone who enhances a company's customer experience, so to speak. Today, we're chatting all about the importance of customer service in Web 3.0 and how fintech super apps are building trust simply by providing a frictionless and user-friendly experience. Web 3 is undoubtedly one of the fastest growing verticals in tech. Remember, Web 1 was all about consuming content, and Web 2 centered around social media, interaction, and user-generated content. Web 3 promises to be the next iteration of the internet. Core elements include decentralization and breaking up monopolies of power, users benefiting from or owning part of the platforms they're using via tokens and digital assets, and transacting in digital currencies to power the ecosystem. It's a whole new world, but it's still early days for Web 3. For example, OpenSea has more than 1.5 million active users. Compare that to TikTok's 1 billion plus monthly active users. it's clear that the leap to mainstream adoption still needs to be made. Now, one crucial element to bring the next billion users into Web3 is supporting users along their journey and providing customer support that rivals that of fintech or e-commerce companies in Web2. And here to chat why Web3 companies should approach customer support differently are my experts at hand, Paul Caldwell and Jonathan Schroyer. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hi, Zen.
All right, Jonathan, I'll start with you. Let's chat new ways of engagement. So engaging communities can look very different in Web3. As an example, Discord is perhaps the most popular tool used by Web3 projects today, with its casual vibe, helping people feel connected to a project and allowing the community to build relationships with each other and, more importantly, the project owners. While some don't like Discord's chaotic nature, many traditional brands entering the Web3 space, from Prada to Nike to Kenzo, have decided to open a Discord server to engage with their community. What do you say to this? And is there a better alternative than Discord?
Over the last 20 years, companies have made the mistake of forcing consumers to go where they are. And now they're finally using their brains, as it were, to meet consumers where they want to be met. And I think with Web3 and gaming and Discord, that's where consumers are. They want to be met. They want to talk that way. They want to talk in a social communal way. You think about the Gen Zs, the millennials, the way that they communicate and collaborate. It's so important that the older legacy brands, as well as the new brands, understand where the consumers are and how they can engage them and help them enjoy their product.
Yeah, without a doubt. And aside from granting tokens or coins to active contributors, we'll likely also see more projects grant digital collectibles and on-chain proof of completing tasks. And this is going to allow them to build up a digital resume and reputation online. With the decentralized nature of Web3, it means that in theory, this reputation can be carried over from one platform to another, unlike a creator who spent years building a Facebook audience, so to speak, and now Facebook becomes less popular, is about to go on the verge of extinction. But yes, to your point, it's all about connectivity. Paul, let's chat decentralizing support. All right. So Web3's core principle of owning one's own data is relevant when it comes to customer support. And one of the most frustrating things as a user is having problems such as being locked out of an account and needing to verify yourself. It can also be very frustrating to have support staff spend countless hours helping users with know your customer, these KYC procedures, and onboarding, not to speak of the drop-off rates. So various alternatives are attempting to bring identity on chain, and with the promise of users owning their own data and having the ability to take it to any platform they want, it can bring benefits to users and companies alike. What are your thoughts on this?
I think universally, Zen, there needs to be a constant, consistent effort to do exactly what Jonathan said. Meet users, meet people where they are. It sounds so simple, but it's not simple in a corporate environment. There is a lot of legacy out there that's used to a call center or customer service and all the related things being costs inside a company. That's being flipped on its ear in really smart companies like Original Digital Corporation. You see them doing things like pushing customer service out even into the gig economy, where they can decentralize. The mom in carpool could, just like an Uber driver, could pick up a call and make $5 by serving a customer well for 2 minutes. These kinds of things are very interesting. I think that also customer service doesn't have to just be a cost item. It could actually map to revenue. And I think companies that understand how great service and support maps to revenue win the day. Web3, Web2, Web1, wherever and whenever they actually get it. I just think there's so much legacy out there that don't even get that simple fundamental premise that there's a tremendous amount of opportunity and a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do. And I'm going to go back and touch on something you and Jonathan both mentioned, is decentralization can also remove the need for middlemen in more traditional support settings where outsourcing support is common. And this obviously would take away power from corporations and put it back into the hands of the workers. So very aligned with Web3 philosophy. So yes, to your point, it's all intertwined. Jonathan, Web3 has been the talk of the cyber world for a long time. It's set to change everything by utilizing cutting edge technologies like blockchain, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, digital twins, cloud computing, and so much more. The list goes on and on. But do you know what's even more fascinating? It's the fusion of Web3 with fintech. When combined with fintech, the potential for Web3 seems almost limitless. How efficient is this duo, in your opinion, for the market? And what business opportunities could this unlock?
Well, I think what's super interesting about that very small amount of change that you just talked about is that it's bringing together digital ownership to the consumer, and it's also creating a new type of super fan of the consumer. Because as you become a digital owner of a company, or become a digital owner of an asset that is attributed to a company, you start to create emotional affinity with that brand. So when you think about, you wake up every day, maybe you go to Starbucks, I don't know, everyone traditionally has a cup of coffee, and they've identified that that cup of coffee and that brand that they have that cup of coffee with is essential to their daily living, their existence. And so as you think about Web3 and you think about it on a personal level, when you become a digital owner of a company, then you all of a sudden become connected to that company in a new way. And one way that we're really starting to see it take hold is in the gaming space. In the traditional gaming, the way that it worked is you would pay for certain assets, but you get a license for those assets and not own them. But in the future of gaming, you pay for those assets and then you own those assets. And why is that really powerful? Is it allows the capability to have tertiary markets. And what that means is that if I own an asset and you own an asset, we can now trade that asset. We can monetize that trade ourselves and get value from it, but then the company gets value from that too. And so when you have that type of a connection to a brand, where it's at the wallet level, but then it becomes at the emotion level, then you start to feel like, oh, I own this piece, and so this is part of my everyday life. And so then you have emotional affinity to that. And I think that's the magic sauce that people don't really talk about a lot when you think about the fusion of fintech with Web3 and all the application uses, is it's going to change the consumer's affinity with these brands.
Very well said. Yeah. And Web3 is about improving transparency and removing intermediaries. So it will be advantageous for businesses and customers. And, of course, when you look back at the core, removing the mediator, the manual processes, that will reduce the cost of service. So as a smart business, you can divide the profit between yourself and your end users and develop a low cost service while increasing your revenue. This is all so revolutionary. I love the rise of the creator economy. All right, Paul, let's chat how Web3 boosts the potential of fintech. So Web3 uses smart contracts along with technologies like machine learning, ML, big data, and decentralized ledger technology, what we call DLT. They use this to build a more open and interconnected world while retaining the ownership rights of users. It basically removes the authorizing agencies and organizations from the financial operations, enabling transparent peer-to-peer transactions between users. So for fintech, these traits of Web3 are a blessing in disguise, as they result in a ton of benefits, at least in my opinion. Talk to me about the rise of fintech super apps and why this is at the core of improving user experience, and how can this facilitate more, so to speak, payment investment opportunities? Because it feels like a great opportunity for fintech apps to actually assist in a higher level of trust with end users. Talk to me about this.
I say generally in that space as well, Jonathan's point about brand relationships exists across the board. Gaming's a great example. I think fintech is another great example. I think gaming and fintech coexist at the transactional level anyway, and they'll exist more deeply beyond just the transaction as well, because there's a broader type of long tail affinity that gets built with a brand, and it really starts to come down to trust. And when you have that, then, and you don't lose that, you don't give people a reason to lose their trust in your brand, then that's terrific. So it's also the long tail ability to stay connected to people, to a customer, and a customer to stay connected to a brand. NFTs kind of prove that it's one example in non-fungible tokens in secondary marketplaces where someone could buy an NFT, list it on a secondary market, resell it, smart contract, everybody gets paid, those kinds of things. In the fintech space in particular, when you start to talk about some of the new banking technologies that are more traditionally rooted, but now coming more into the space, like the ISO 222 standard for instant ACH, which will link central bank technology around the world and allow for instant 24/7, 365 transactions to happen. A Sunday afternoon, I want to send you money. I just push a button, I send you money. These kinds of things develop these peer-to-peer, again, relationships that allow for decentralized solutions to win the day when it comes to the trust factor. But the other component to it is the regulatory environment and how these regulated environments that are historically decades and decades old, these a lot of these rules that exist are being adjusted, adapted. I think it's very interesting to see how these things are starting to get closer and closer together to where you can really have a properly regulated environment where people are safe and can trust. But I think the trust gets shifted a little bit away from just trusting this because the government says so, or just trusting this because the regulator says so, and having the regulator there and playing the role. But the trust exists because it exists ahead of time. And I believe in the brand now. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And if you're in the fintech business, embracing Web3 and empathizing on building the semantic web more powerful through innovations is going to unlock unlimited business opportunities, but it all begins with trust. We have about a minute left. Jonathan, very quickly, 20-second quick and dirty on arise.com. What do you guys provide there?
So we're a big believer in the future of work, and the future of payments is decentralized. So we provide a gig workforce globally that helps gaming and other vertical companies get services, whether it's their player support, whether it's game testing, whether it's localization, or just general support across financial, healthcare, variety of places. We're a really big believer that people should live where they want to live and work where they want to work and have purpose. And so our platform provides that capability.
I love it. I love it. With that, we are out of time. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for coming on. Very, very enlightening session. Jonathan, pleasure chatting with you. Paul,
Pleasure.
You know the drill.
My pleasure.
What a great segment. Well, listen, guys, at the end of the day, think of it like this. Web3 communities have a different set of behaviors, preferences, and structures versus traditional companies. And trying to use traditional tools to manage support isn't always going to be the best fit. Instead, Web3 companies are going to need to consider how they can use channels their community loves and embrace the power of community-enabled support while simultaneously thinking about how they can scale their operations to bring their projects and products to the mass market. And that's what you have to keep into perspective. That was our Innovation and Tech segment brought to you by Caldwell Soames. That was Paul Caldwell, Chairman and CEO of Caldwell Soames. And do check out Jonathan Schroyer on LinkedIn and Twitter at Chief CX Officer. And definitely check them out at arise.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Revere Securities. Revere is committed to building a relationship of trust in which they work closely with you to help you define your objectives, explore alternatives, and choose the financial and investment strategies that are most appropriate for you. Go to reveresecurities.com.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. We are at the end of our date. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710wor.iheart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're now live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. and on YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And of course, all episodes of A Moment of Zen are now available on Kathy Ireland's Your Home TV streaming platform. Guys, do check out our channel mox.yourhometv.com. Thank you for listening. It has been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember, happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it.